we go. Turn off the heater for one. Hi, I'll be right there. Someone's quietly watching. Well, watching or not, I am going to go ahead and do my unboxing of my ArtStacks. And here's a couple of the sample cards that I made. And I'm going to show you how to do this one tonight. This one, I'm not going to show you because it's way too intense. So it's one of these kinds of cards. So it comes out like that. Sits on a table like that. Hey, Melissa. So that's that one. And that comes with a little belly band. I got the card design, the fold out was from Sam Calcutt. Anyway, so as some of you know, I am a designer for ArtStacks. Hi, I don't know, this is a surprise, so but I was gonna do an unboxing anyway, so I decided to just go ahead and get started. Okay, so each one of these pieces, ArtStacks is a company out of Australia. And this is their February 2022 release. If you live in Australia or the UK, you can get physical packs. You can get them in the US too, but shipping's so crazy from Australia. Hi Crystal, hi Venus, hi Grandma, Graham. Hi Kathy. So, what I did was I printed them out basically the way that they come if you order the physical stack. And after the video, I'll leave a link in the description box. But because I live in the US and the team, Heather McMahon, she's in Australia, we agreed that I would showcase digital. So these are all printables. I printed them on my inexpensive Hewlett-Packard inkjet printer. I do belong to a membership and it's called, let me see, what's it called? Instant Ink. And so it basically it's connected to the internet. It senses when I'm running low on ink and it sends me ink. Hi Gloria. So without further ado, I'll show you the designs and I'll show you how I did this card. So these are designed to be printed on, what's this stuff called? Tissue paper. This is just regular old Hallmark white tissue paper that I printed it out on. And what I do is once I've printed them out, I seal them on both sides with some sprayable Mod Podge. So that when I'm decoupaging them, I don't have to worry about ink running because it's an inkjet printer. So these are the tissue printed designs. And what I do, I'll show you later how I get them to print on tissue. So this is the other tissue printed design. And I printed 2 of each. Let me get those out of my way here. And then I went ahead and I printed, this is just on regular copy paper, printed one on regular copy paper. Then we've got, these are printed on 80-pound accent opaque. You can print them on anything that you want on as many times as you want. you can see here that I need to change my color ink in my printer because we got some colors that kind of try to blend together at the end. These are probably the last ones I printed. And I like these because you can use these stripes, and I'll show you how I used them in this card. I used them as a background accent there. And then you can use the words. So I printed two of those on a heavier cardstock, and I printed 2 on just regular copy paper. Then there's this one, which is kind of crazy. I also used that in that card, and I just printed both of those on a heavier paper. And then these are designed to be printed on easy tear paper. So, so that you can rip them. And again, you'll see that I ripped them a lot in this design. Thank you. Hi, Marta. Hi, Diane. So these are that one. How I ended up with 3, I don't know. I just went print crazy because I wanted to make sure I had enough printed out. And these are 2 different sets, by the way, and I should have probably separated out the sets, but I didn't. You can see them on the website. Now these are, what is this set? Flower something. I'll put in the description box. My brain has gone dead. I printed these on photo paper, and you can, if you have any kind of prowess with any kind of image editing, you can make these as large or as small as you want. ArtStacks. This is ArtStacks design out of Australia. It's artstacks.au. So I printed those on glossy paper. Then there are these. The designer is Lisa Oxley, and she painted all of these, and they're, you know, part of the February 2022 release. Also did these on photo glossy paper. These are on, Mike, I'm live, so language, please. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Right, so ArtStacks is a very small company, again, out of Australia. And she sells actual physical papers, and she also sells digital. And they're the same. So the physical and the digital are the same papers. Yes, yes. And then we've got these little guys. Love these hearts and rainbows. These are also printed on, again, you can print them on anything you want to print them on. It's your stuff. And then we've got this set that I also printed on photo paper. And notice I have a piece of paper in between each one because I'm afraid I don't know, you know, how good my ink is. It looks like it's fine now. It doesn't seem to be smearing, but I wasn't sure when I got done printing them, so I didn't want to take a risk. But this one, y'all, I mean, I used this as the background on this one, and I cried when I cut it up. I did not want to cut that up at all. So, anyways, I am, again, Heather at ArtStacks. She does sell physical paper packs. They are based in Australia, and shipping is a little tricky from Australia to here right now. So I agreed to do digital for her on the design team. Do they come already printed? Well, Lisa Oxley is the designer. I don't know this. I printed these myself. So, from the digital files that, I was given because I'm on the design team. So I thought I'd show you how I did this one here. And this one's a little different. I didn't use any glossy paper. But what I'm going to do is, and it's got the little sentiment inside, is I'm going to be using the glossy paper and recreate something like this. Not exactly like it. Yeah, it does. It does remind me of Dina Wakley a lot, but it's not. So I'm going to start with the panel itself. And what I did for that panel is I had ink smush first. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grab an already done background that I have because it pretty much gets covered anyway. And what I do is I take this is the Dina Wakley gel medium, and I'm going to lay this on my little slicky thingy here, and I'm going to grab a piece of the tissue, the printed tissue. And, oh, you know what? That's got a heart shape on it. I think I want to see that. So I will take, and I like to use, this is just a little silicone brush. I wish I could find a bigger one. But that's that. I'm just going to take and spread some of this on here and spread it out. And who knows what kind of craziness it'll do, because this is oxide, but it doesn't matter. I don't care, because I'm going to bury it. Yeah, Lisa's designs are so pretty. Ooh, I like the way that's looking with that gel medium, but that's not the final outcome. Okay, and then I'm going to take my tissue, the part that's going to be seen, and I'm going to lay it on here. And I am going to use a paper towel. Do they? Oh, I'll show you, Pamela, how I do that. And I don't even care if it's doing this weirdness. Doesn't bother me a bit. See how it's like that? I like it. It's great. Now I'll take my tissue, because I'm going to go over the top as well, and just tear. And, or I should probably take scissors. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You're never going to see it. And I'm going to use a brush this time. I'm going to brush that over. All over the top. So now you see why I want to seal my tissue before I use it, because I worried that the inkjet printer will bleed. And I just spray it, take it outside and spray it both sides with Mod Podge and call it done. I want to be kind of careful with it though, because it's still tissue. I'm just going to take my paper towel, wipe off the excess. Just make sure it's good and stuck down everywhere. And you see on the edges, you just don't even see it anymore. It just disappears. So we'll let that dry and I'll show you how I do this. It's super easy. Now I take a piece of heavier cardstock, and I use the rest of it. It wrecks the edges of it, but it doesn't make it completely useless for things. So I'll take a piece of my Accent of Hate cardstock. Let me just make sure I don't have any medium anywhere, because I don't want it to stick. And this is just plain old Hallmark tissue paper. You could probably use rice paper or anything else. And I'm just going to take a piece and kind of lay it on here. And I'm just going to kind of tear, because it's hard to cut tissue with scissors, but you can use scissors. It doesn't matter. But you want to leave something all the way around the sides and top. Oh, no, 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 no. So I have to be off camera here a little because it's a big old piece of tissue. Okay, so then what I do is I smooth it out best I can. Doesn't have to be smooth though, doesn't matter. I lay my paper on like that, and then I take my glue stick, and I just use a cheapy one. I can find my cheapy one, here it is. Oh, hey Simon, hey Jean, did I say hi Gloria, hi Donna, Cheryl? Okay, so I'm just gonna take my glue stick here, and I'm just gonna run it along the edge right here, and then I'm gonna fold this over, just like that. And then I'll run it along this edge, and I don't bother with the top edge because that part's gonna be coming out. I'll show you. I'm just gonna fold this over. The one thing you wanna do is if you go beyond your edges here with your paste, you wanna make sure it's dry before you put it in your printer, because you can see right here why I would manage to go on the edge, but I'll just kind of go along right there. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Anything that's sticking out like this right here, you don't want. You just take your scissors and cut it off. Where's my scissors? Yeah, exactly. And so I just take and put it in my printer with the folded side down and run it through the print job. When you're doing tissue paper, you want to run it through at draft quality, because there's no point in wasting your ink on high quality. Finer than a frog's hair. Oh, transparencies for, yeah. How do you get them to stick? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Let me go ahead and dry this piece right here just for a second because I'm going to do something else to it. And I see it wrinkled kind of, and that's okay because it gives to the texture. That's good enough because the next step I'm going to do is I am going to be painting this because I want to dull it down a little bit. I'm going to be using some gesso. Gesso, for those who don't know, it has multiple uses. For one thing, if you paint something with gesso, you could typically use alcohol markers or alcohol ink with it. So they make it comes in clear, and it comes in white, and it comes in black. It adds a surface basically with a little bit of tooth for paint to grab to. But what I like to use it for is to mute things down. Yeah, I printed the tissue, Simon, from ArtStacks out of Australia. I am a design team member for ArtStacks, and I agreed to do the digital portion because the shipping is so hard. So I'm going to take my brush here, and I'm going to lightly, with the gesso, brush over this. And when I say lightly, I mean lightly, like one dip. Because all I'm trying to do is just tone it down. So you can see the design behind it, but it's calmer. And that'll dry pretty quickly. So you see, I had that bright design and now it's calmed down. We still have our colors, but it's a little bit calmer. Hey Abraham, hi Pam. All right, so we'll set that aside for a second and let it dry. Let me just wipe off my little doodad here. So one thing as far as gesso goes, let me just wrap this in a paper towel. If you are going to be using like watercolor crayons or pencils or something like that, if you coat your paper with gesso first, you know how when you try to do a crayon, like a Caran d'Ache crayon or a gelato or something, and it will leave like a harsh line? This coating your paper in gesso first can help avoid that. Because you know you're ultimately wanting to spread out your design or your color. I'll have to show you sometime. And okay, I just don't want my brush to dry out on me. So I'll go ahead and create the outside panel. And I think I'll use this really, really wild one here. Oh, good one, Pamela. Yes, I put the tissue over the background. I'm going to go ahead and trim this down. Try not to get it on there. So all the papers coordinate, so you don't have to worry about colors matching or not. I want this to be 5. And I got I keep a little manila folder with all my scraps from all my different paper packs. We're gonna go 4 1/4. You're not gonna see a lot of this, but I wanna see the pink, so trim this off and flip it over. I forgot where I was. Okay, I want to do 5 1/4, 5 4. There's what I wanted. I got lost. Sorry about that. So we've got that component. Then we're going to do these little scribbly hearts and rainbows. I'm thinking about the size here. And you see, now you see why I needed to mute this down, because I don't want it overpowering. I don't want it to be, I like color, but not a vomit of color. Sorry if that was too graphic. So I'm going to fussy cut out one of these rainbows. And they're super easy to cut out, obviously. So Lisa Oxley is on our design team, and she also created this month's design. So there's a different designer every month that does the creations, including Heather's daughter sometimes. And I did give you kind of a little glimpse of last month. Heather sent me the physical papers, and I had the digital. The physical never got here in time for me to do the design team work for last month. So we had a conversation and decided that digital, and she sends out the digital either in A4 or 8.5 by 11, so whatever you order. And I'm working with glossy paper here. This is some photo glossy paper. I ordered some Hamilco, but it's supposed to get here today, but it hasn't. You know how that goes. And we want a little heart. Let's go with this heart right here. Yeah, you could watch the replay if you want to. Heather also from ArtStacks, if you go to the website. Again, I'll link it below after the video. She has a couple of videos on how to print them and how to use them. Okay. By the time I get done cutting all this stuff out, my gesso should be dry. It dries pretty quickly. If not, we'll take a heat to it. Okay, and I want a person. I think I'll go with this person. These peg people crack me up. I see them a lot. Yeah, I did print it. All by myself. I belong to a, it's not really a club, it's a membership or program or something with Hewlett-Packard. It's called Instant Ink. And I want to say it runs me about maybe $5 a month for all the printing that I do. And I do a lot of printing. To me, it's a great value. If I were to buy this paper pack and use it, I wouldn't have any more. And I'd have to buy a whole nother paper pack. Yeah, they kind of do. We'll play a little game here. Roll that dice. I have another video that I'll set out when we're done here. I didn't want you guys to be watching that one and then be interrupted by my live. But it's not this design team. It's just fun. All right. Got our people. This is still a little damp, so I'm going to move this stuff aside and take my heat tool to it. Let go. I like to fussy cut. I do. My tissue paper wrinkled on me here a little, which is cool. I mean, any kind of texture, extra texture is just bonus with this type of mixed media art. Oh, see, I was testing paper. That's what that one was for. I see. I saw that Echo Tank one, and I really want it, but I already have this one, and I invested my bonus this year in a glimmer machine, so, and some hot foil dyes. Yeah, see, I mean, there's a lot more things laser printers can do that inkjets can't. Okay. Now I'm going to trim that one down. That's why I wasn't too worried about the edges. I'm going to use my decal trimmer. I'm going to trim it to 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. Now, this is going to attach here. So see, when you lay it on there, you lose a lot of that color. I think because that I'm going to attach that to something so busy, I'm going to break this white up here with a little bit of ink. You know what? Let's go. I'm going to go in with Prom Queen, and the reason why is because I'm going to be using Prom Queen. Where are you, Prom Queen? Where'd you go? Huh. These, oh, there you are. I'm going to be using a little lunar paste. So I'm just going to edge this around the edge with the prom clean. Wow, Pamela, thank you. How thoughtful. Let me get a brush, get the prom queen, and just kind of break up the edge a little. Okay, brought this little color back in, which will help delineate it a bit from this piece here. Okay. So next I want a little bit of this boldness right back in. So I'm going to grab just another piece of this tissue. Let's see. When you spray it with the Mod Podge, it's hard to tell what the front and what the back is. Doesn't matter, I guess it's pretty abstract. And for this, I'm going to use my finger tool because it's just such a small piece. And I'm going to lay it right along here. If you miss some, just go in with some more. Use your good old finger tool to spread it out. So see, I brought some of that color back in. Now I want to bring my rainbow in. I want a couple of words. So we have these words here. Make sure that's kind of dry. Let me grab a ruler. I'm just going to use my ruler to tear this so that it tears on a pretty evenly. And I think I'm going to go Bright Life for my two words I'm going to use. Just move all these other ones aside for later. And I don't even care if they glue all the way down. Now see, sometimes I'll get them on there and then I can't find the edge. So I'll grab my little tweezers and try and pull it up here. And I'll lay this down here. And yeah, y'all, this is a very, very colorful release right here. Let's get our word on straight. Well, I don't really want it straight, but I want it not. Come on. I'm being fidgety there. Just put a little down here, get some on my finger tool, and wipe it across. See, it just kind of disappears right into the paper. Well, thank you, Cheryl. Okay, this is... Okay, there's the lid. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe off some of my mess here, so I don't get it everywhere. Okay, so we've got all this. Whoops. Well, that's okay if that wants to stick there, but I don't really want it there. I'm going to go ahead and dry it a bit. It's the designer. Her name is Cheryl Oxley. She is the one you're talking about is Dina Wakely, or maybe it's Diane Reveley. It's one of those two ladies. But this designer is Cheryl Oxley, and she's on our design team for ArtStacks. And so yeah, their styles are very, very similar. No, it's definitely not Wendy Vicky. Pam. Okay. So it's a little warpy. I don't care. I am going to grab a card base and going to put this down onto the card base. And then I'm going to put my things down, and then I'm going to get out my lunar paste. And that's just exactly how easy this card is to do. Oh, I can't use a top folding. I need to use a side folding. Well, I can use a tent fold, which is what I'll do. And best way to get this down straight is with tape. First, I find the end of my tape. I haven't done this method in a while. But I haven't tested glue with this photo paper, and so I don't want to have glue wormies on here. And I'll just take my scissors and trim off any excess hair from my sloppiness, because I'd rather tear the tape. Get my bone folder, burnish this down. Get my pokey tool, lift the corners. It's not a mega challenge, it's just paper. I've been thinking about doing some sort of a weekly or monthly challenge, kind of like the blindfold challenge, but I don't know how many people I can get to do it with me, and I'll look silly if I'm the only one that's a contender. So just remember that. You can print this on any kind of paper you want. And I'm not going to pop this up at all. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be putting lunar paste all the way into this border piece. So this piece I don't mind gluing because I know it's just paper, it's Bristol Smooth. Where did I put my glue? That's the question. Did you guys see it? There it is. Oh, sorry, indigestion. I had pizza. I couldn't help it. Mike's like, oh, would you like me to make you a healthy lunch? I'm like, yeah. Make yourself in the car and drive down to Domino's. He hates that because he really shouldn't eat that kind of stuff. Well, none of us should, but I mean, really, really shouldn't. And he can't help himself. Okay. I did find my pink brush. It was in with my, I have this little like mailbox type thing that I have all my acrylics from stamping in, and it was behind there. So I must have somehow scooted it during that blindfold challenge. Okay, I think that's fairly down. All right, now where did I put all my stuff? Here they are. I'm going to start with my little rainbow. And I'm going to go right about here. Okay, here we go. We're going to find out whether this stuff gets wormy or not, because I am not going to tape this. Run what challenge by you? The one I'm thinking about doing? I was thinking about doing a non-dominant hand challenge for one. I'm just going to try and press down this glue. I can tell it's this glue and this paper, this photo paper does not like glue. I'll try paste. I have some good paste. All to do cutting dies and layers. Yeah, sure. All right, where's my person? Here's my person. And I'll use this extreme glue. Uh-oh, don't break your neck. Get that out of the way so I don't accidentally put my hand in it. And I want this to go all the way to the bottom and over. Get a piece of paper towel to spread that in. Yes, Melissa, do it. Do the blindfold challenge. Show them. Now, I'm not going to put heart on yet because heart is going to sit up. And I want to do lunar paste. So let me grab a stencil here. And let me grab the right lunar paste. Oh. All right, where did I put my prom queen? Oh, here it is. Nice. And I'm just going to use little portions of this stencil. And I'm going to actually use my little media brush, this little one right here. Since I'm just doing small amounts, I really don't need the knife or anything. This is nice and soft. But what I want to do is I want to make sure I hold down my stencil really well. And I'm just going to go in a couple of places. And lift. And wipe so I don't get everywhere. That's one thing I love about this stencil is it just can go anywhere. wipe. Oh, I know, it makes me crazy too, that light reflection. And then I'm just going to do a little one over here. And I smeared that, which is fine, because yay for mixed media. So I'm not using a ton, just a little. Just like that. And this just wipes right off because it's silicone. I love it. Let me just get this out of the way for a second while I clean off this stencil real quick. I know you guys already heard me complaining about pixie spray. I really do not like that stuff. It just makes it harder to clean your stencil. So there's almost no waste the way I just did it. Except for the stain that I left on there yesterday when I did my sample. What do you see happening to me? Oh, the reflection of the light? There's no way around it unless you use like a piece of flat paper. And a lot of people do. And as a matter of fact, oh, I don't know where I put it. I started saving all the brown paper that comes in the packaging they send you these days. Yeah, glue gummies, and it's hard to clean them. Yeah. Where is the light most bothersome? Right here. I just had Mike install a new light for me because I'm just going so dang blind. I need more and more light. But if I try to diffuse them, and it must be this one right here, I'm not sure, but it's probably that one. Well, all right, so I'm going to pop up my heart. What's wrong, Sherry? Oh, no, you went to a cemetery at a funeral. I'm so sorry. I'm going to be using my fake foam squares. And I put them on pretty heavy. Let me see if you can see. That one went over to my finger, but that's okay. And what I do is I just gently drop it down and give it a tiny tap, and it sticks. And it pops up whatever I'm doing. So now I noticed on this lady, or on this person, I did a word on her dress too. So let's do that. It's not the photo paper. I don't recommend the photo paper. Couple things I wasn't crazy about, but that's, pixie spray does not, well, Goo Gone, yeah, but that stuff, messy. Anyway, that's the ArtStacks paper. After the video, I will leave a link in the description box of how to get this paper. You can download the digital. If you are in Australia, you can actually purchase the physical pack. You can in the US as well, but the shipping is precarious, so. Oh, the gloss acrylics? Yeah, I have some of those. Have I used them? Yes, I have. Here was my opinion on them. Once you've sprayed that, you can only glue stuff on. There's no stamping on it. It's glossy. Yeah, this was definitely a really brightly colored release. I'm excited about it, though. I'm excited about being on the design team and meeting all the new designers and seeing everybody's work, because it's somebody different every time. So it's going to be different design, different color range. But, I mean, honestly, this one is my everything. I'll probably just frame that and leave it like it is. I don't think it's wood. I think that it's like not Formica, but like, what do you call that stuff these days? The linoleum. I think it's linoleum. Yeah, I love the bright colors too. Well, you know me, I love color, so that's what it is. After the video, I'll leave a link in the description box so you guys can go have a look there and see if it's something you feel like doing. This was the original I did. See, it came out a little bit wider because I did not do it on photo paper. So I'm saying probably no to photo paper, unless, depending, like these elements are cool on photo paper. And I showed you guys how to fix up the tissue paper so you can print on it. You can also, I mean, honestly, you can stamp with archival ink on tissue paper and it won't go anywhere. So you've got that too. Anyway, that's all I got tonight, guys. I just wanted to show off this new release. I'm going to go put the links in the description, and then I'm going to send my other video to go live. Not live like me being here, live like it being ready to be seen. Maybe, but the thing is they're textured. I'll show you. Let me see if I can grab one here. I've got some over here. Okay, let me grab the turquoise, and I'll give you a little demo of the gloss media spray. Let's grab just a piece of scrap here. Okay, first of all, okay, so there's the turquoise. And let's do lemon. Blend some of that together there. Let that run down. Let's make sure it doesn't say not to dry. It may irritate eyes. Well, duh. Dry still glossy finish. La la la. Permanent when dry. Shake well. Clean spray nozzle after each use. Okay, it doesn't say not to heat them. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Abraham. Yeah, I guess you could stamp on it. You see how it kind of leaves a little bit of a texture. Let's wipe up that excess there. Now this is just on regular accent opaque. It's not on any fancy schmancy Ranger paper because we're just testing. So, like in the spots where I let it run, it of course dried in a texture. So let's see. Let's grab an archival and see if it'll stamp. Will it stamp? grab a stamp. We'll do a big stamp. We'll go with the Mermaid Lagoon here. All right, here goes the test. Hi, Mama Bear. Give it good pressure. Finger CPR. Yeah, it stamps. So you see the gloss? Yeah, I could imagine like a lunar paste type spray type thing. That'd be pretty cool. Now I used a light color. I just used Mermaid Lagoon. So it does stamp. It leaves a finish that when you look at it, it appears, in my mind, it appears sticky. Let me get you up close here. It's not though, it's just glossy. It's not sticky at all. Okay, now, guys, I think you're talking about a scan and cut, which is a foreign language to me. Maybe next year, cover their scan and cut mat with a Cricut mat. Why would you do that? Yeah, that's right. It kind of looks like resin. So, I mean, if that's your thing, and of course you don't have to go wild like I did. You could do one color. I have some other types of Dina Wakley sprays. Oh, you know me. I'm a junkie. I have it all. Anyway, guys, I'm done for the night. I got a stomach ache from pizza. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Appreciate you. And, yeah, I need to work on the light because I'm not real crazy about how it's... Like, I can see the words up inside the light in the reflection. That's annoying. Yeah, sure. Cool for ocean scenes. The archival is still kind of sticky, but it's not smearing or anything. It's sticking. I'm not mad. Have a good night. Love you guys. Bye-bye.